So in the last lecture, we started with our exercise 2.4 and it is based on the transpose of a matrix. So if you remember from the previous class, we had already seen that the transpose of a matrix is nothing but conversion of a matrix from a row to a column, or converting row elements to a column elements, which is called as a transpose. So today we have to see a few sums which are there based on this. So let's see them one by one. Let us start with the sum number 5. We are having over here the two matrices, in fact three matrices A, B and C are given, and there are two parts. Let us try to start with the first part first. It's asking us that A plus B the whole transpose is going to be equal to A transpose plus B transpose. So what is the value of A? It is 2 and minus 3. Yeah. This is your 2.4 exercise. Question number 5 continued. It says that A is equal to 2n minus 3, 5n minus 4, minus 6 and 1. B over here is going to be equal to 2n minus 1, 4. Okay, so it is very easy. What you just need to do is you need to find out the first of all A plus B. So let's do it. A plus B. We are solving the first part first, and then I'll give you to solve the second part. 2n minus 3, 5 and minus 4, minus 6 and 1. Everybody can start along with me because it's very easy sum. Minus 3 and 3. So this is going to be equal to 2 and 2, that is 4. This is negative 2, 5 and 4 is 9, minus 4 and minus 1, that is minus 5. Minus 6 and minus 3, that is negative 9. 1 and 3 is 4. This is my value for A plus B. What do I want? I want the value of A plus B the whole transpose. So guys, your LHS value is A plus B the whole transpose. Why do I need that LHS? If you see the question number 5 carefully, it's telling us to show that. Show that matlab we have to show that LHS and RHS come out to be equal. So therefore I am doing LHS and RHS. So it's just the transpose of A plus B, which I can write over here 4, 9 and minus 9. The first column got converted into the first row and it is negative 2, negative 5 and 4. The second column over here gets converted into the second row. So it's very easy. And I'll give it as equation number 1 because this is my required LHS. Now I need to find the value of A transpose and B transpose separately, and they will be added to get the required value of your RHS. Let us see. I will write over here A transpose. Straight away you can write the answer by looking at the question in your textbook. The first row element is 2n minus 3, so it will become first column 2n minus 3. 5n minus 4, second row in matrix A, so second column in the A transpose 5n minus 4. Same thing goes for minus 6 and 1. Let's write the value of B transpose right besides it. Okay, so it is 2 and 1 in the first column, 4 and minus 1, minus 3 and 3. So that's a very simple thing. Now the question, your RHS over there tells you that you have to add it. So let's do it. RHS is equal to A transpose plus B transpose. Let me use a new page, write down over here. 2, 5 and minus 6, minus 3, minus 4 and 1, plus 2, 4 and negative 3, 1, minus 1 and 3. Now let's just do a simple addition of the corresponding elements. 2 goes with 2, so 2 and 2 is 4, 5 and 4 is 9, minus 6 and minus 3 is minus 9, minus 3 and 1 is negative 2, then it is negative 5, and then it is 4. There you go. If you see your equation 1 and equation 2 very carefully, it's exactly the same. Because they both are exactly same, I can say that from 1 and 2, A plus B, the whole transpose, is exactly equal to your A transpose plus B transpose. And guys, this is what we had to prove. So we have done it. So based on this information of your question number 6, you have to find the value of C transpose. It's very easy. What we will do over here is, first of all, I will try to get the value of C from this particular equation. I will say over here 3A minus 2B plus C is equal to I. So it means that C is nothing but I plus 2B minus of 3A. So now leave this C over here. We have already studied in our previous classes that I is 1001 because it is a question of a 2 by 2 matrix. I know the value of A and B, so I will use that. Minus 1, 3, 4 and minus 1. Minus 3 into 5, 4, negative 2 and 3. So here it is going to be 1001, leave it. Multiply this 2 and 3 inside the corresponding matrices. Minus 2 and 6, 8 and negative 2. And for the last, as I had also told in the previous lecture, once again I am repeating, I have to just multiply this element 3 inside the matrix. Do not multiply minus 3 because this minus is for subtraction. It is not the sign for the number 3 over there. So I will get 15, 12, negative 6 and not 6, it should be 9. Now it's easy for us. 1 minus 2 minus 15, 0 plus 6 minus 12, 0 plus 8 and plus 6 because it is minus of minus 6, that is plus 6. For the last, 1 minus 2 minus 9. So you will get 1 minus 2 is minus 1 and minus 15 is minus 16. This is negative 6, 14. 1 minus 2 is again minus 1 and minus 9, that is minus 10. So this becomes our matrix C. But the question has asked us to find the value of C transpose, guys. Do not forget that because that is your answer. If you leave your answer up till here, you will just lose your 1 mark. Waste your 1 mark, I should say, not even lose because it's a simple thing. Negative 16 and 14, negative 6 and negative 10. There goes your answer. Simple. Okay, so question number 9 right there in front of us. Sorry, not 9, 10 it is. And we have to show that A plus A transpose is a symmetric matrix, whereas A minus A transpose is a skew symmetric matrix. So it's very easy question actually, guys. The first thing that I will do is I will try to find the value of A transpose from here. So let's do that much first. A transpose is equal to the first row element will come in the first column 1, 2 and 4. The second row element will come in the second column 3, 2 and 1. And the last row element will come in the last column. So it is minus 2, minus 3 and 2. So that's it. That's your A transpose. Now the question wants us to find the value of A plus A transpose and A minus A transpose. So let's do as per what the question requires. So this is 1 2 4 3 2 1 minus 2 minus 3 and 2 plus 1 3 and negative 2 2 2 and negative 3 4 1 and 2. So this is going to be just equal to 1 and 1, that is 2, 2 and 3, that is 5, 4 and minus 2, that is 2, 3 plus 2 5, 2 plus 2 4, 1 and minus 3 is minus 2, this is 2 again, this is negative 2 and this is 4. So if you observe guys, these elements are equal, and when these elements come out to be equal, then in such a case I can say that it is definitely a symmetric matrix. So just as it wanted us to show, we have done that. So we will just say A plus A transpose is a symmetric matrix. So if you remember symmetric matrix, the condition was Aij is equal to Abi, and yes, that is satisfied in this particular sum. So it's very simple. Now I want everybody to try for A minus A transpose on your own right now. Come on, quickly. Okay, so that is the value of A minus A transpose that we have over here, and we can see that minus 1 and 1, the values are same but with opposite signs. Again 6 and minus 6, and the last minus 4 and 4. So it is representing a skew symmetric matrix A minus A transpose is a skew symmetric matrix. Now since we know the condition over here that Aij is equal to minus of Aji, very easy. Now the same thing has to be applied in our question number 10 as well, or 11 I should say. But before going to the sum number 11, I want everybody to quickly solve the second part of this sum right now on your own. Come on, quickly. You have to find out the value of A plus A transpose and the value of A minus A transpose. Jaldi se. So now we have the point which says that if I have to express any given square matrix, remember that it can be applied on a square matrix. To express it as a sum of a symmetric and a skew symmetric matrix. So I consider over here that the matrix P is a symmetric matrix, and this Q is a skew symmetric matrix. SSM representing skew symmetric, SM representing symmetric. So I am writing P is equal to half of A plus A transpose and Q is equal to half of A minus A transpose. If you read your question number 11, it is very clearly telling us to express the following matrices as the sum of symmetric and skew symmetric matrix. So let me explain you the first one first, and then you can try to solve it for the second one because it's very simple. So the question over here tells us that I have to start with assuming a name for the matrix because he has not given any name to the matrix over here. So it is 4 and negative 2, 3 and negative 5. What I will do is I will first of all find the value of A transpose. It is just 4 and negative 2. The first row is becoming my first column, and 3 and negative 5, the second row is becoming my second column. Now I will find out A plus A transpose, and I will also find out A minus A transpose after that. So let me do it. 4, negative 2, 3 and negative 5 plus 4, 3, negative 2, negative 5. So what is it? It is just equal to 4 and 4 giving me 8. This is 1. This is 1 as well. And this is going to be negative 10. Okay. So when I just subtract it, 4 minus 2, 3 and negative 5 plus, minus 4, 3, minus 2 and minus 5. What is it? 4 minus 4 is 0. This is minus 5. 3 minus of minus 5, that is plus 5. And this is again going to be equal to 0. Now don't forget guys, your value of P is half of A plus A transpose and Q is half of A minus A transpose. So now I will consider P and Q. P is half of A plus A transpose, which is half into 8, 1, 1 and negative 10. So basically this is going to become 4, 1 by 2, 1 by 2 and negative 5. This becomes your value of Q. P. In the same way, if I take Q, it is half into 0, negative 5, 5 and 0. And if I multiply this half inside this matrix, you should get 0 by 2, this is 0, minus 5 by 2, positive 5 by 2, 0 by 2 is again 0. Finally, I just have to find out the value of P plus Q in order to check whether the given condition is satisfied or not. So let me do it. P plus Q. 4, 1 by 2, 1 by 2 minus 5 plus 0 minus 5 by 2, 5 by 2 and 0. So what is it? 4 plus 0, the first with the first, that is 4. 1 by 2 plus negative 5 by 2. If suppose it gets difficult for you, so you can write it like this. 1 by 2 plus negative 5 by 2, which is minus 5 by 2. So I will get this is minus 4 by 2, and that is just a simple minus 2. In the same manner, if I take 1 by 2 plus 5 by 2, this will become now 6 by 2, and 6 by 2 is nothing but equal to 3, and the last minus 5 and 0, that is minus 5. So guys, you are having the value of P plus Q right in front of you over here. Matrix A right in front of us on the textbook side. And if you compare, they both are exactly same. So that is what our question wanted to us to do. I have showed that A is exactly equal to now P plus Q. And that is what we were asked to do. In the sum number 12 for the LHS, we have to first of all find the value of A into B, and then what the answer comes for that we have to find the transpose of it. So let's first of all find the value of AB. So it is just going to be equal to multiplied by 0, 3 and negative 4, 2, negative 1 and 1. So I have to first of all multiply the first row elements with all the 3 columns of the second matrix, and we will repeat the procedure for the second row and the third row of the first matrix. So let us see what we get. I will get 2 into 0, that is 0, minus 1 into 2, that is minus 2. So 0 minus 2, let me write it properly over here. For the next, 2 into 3 is 6, minus 1 into minus 1 is 1, so I will get 6 plus 1. For the next, 2 into minus 4, that is minus 8, and again minus 1. So we have done the first row elements of the first matrix with all the 3 columns of the second matrix. Now I will repeat this for the second row and all the 3 columns. So 0 and minus 4, then it is 9 plus 2, then it is minus 12 minus 2. For the last, let's do it. 4 into 0, 1 into 2, that is 0 plus 2. Then 4 into 3, that is 12 minus 1. Then it is minus 16 and it is plus 1. So I just have to do the required addition or subtraction, whatever applicable. Negative 2, 7, negative 9, negative 4, 11, negative 14, 2, 11 and negative 15. So this is my required value for AB. Now let me first of all write over here LHS, because it is my LHS value, which is my AB transpose, which is equal to, the first row becomes the first column. Again and again I am telling this to you. This is your equation number 1. Now I will try to find out the value of B transpose and A transpose for my RHS, because if you see that, it requires that. So B transpose and A transpose, and then we will try to multiply both of them. So let's do it. B transpose is going to be equal to 0, 3, negative 4, 2, negative 1 and 1. Whereas A transpose is now going to be over here 2, 3, 4, minus 1, minus 2, 1. Okay. So let us quickly multiply the matrices. We have to write B transpose first and then the A transpose. Keep this thing in mind. You cannot change the question, because I had told you in some of the previous classes that in case of multiplication of matrices, A into B and B into A are not equal to each other. So we have to follow this particular property. You cannot write A transpose and B transpose instead of B transpose into A transpose. So keep that thing in mind over here, because it's a mistake that you might do, and you will observe that it will not be equal. So you will say it is not verified, but actually it has to get verified because it's a property of the transpose of a matrix. So remember this point. Now okay, so there we go. The first value 0 and minus 2, then it is 0 and minus 4, then it is 0 plus 2. Okay, second row 3 to the 6, I will get 6 plus 1, then it is 3 into 3 9, minus of minus, that is plus 2, and for the last 12 minus 1. Alright, then it is negative 8 minus 1, then it is negative 12 minus 2, then it is negative 16 plus 1. So there it is. Finally negative 2, negative 4 and 2, 7, 11 and again 11, Okay. And what is it? Negative 9, negative 14, negative 15. This is actually your value of RHS. So I should write RHS over here. Okay. This is equation 2. This becomes your equation 1 right there in front of us. Let me try to reduce it so that it's visible to all. We can see that all the elements of equation 1 are exactly same as all the elements of the equation 2 or the matrix 2, as I can say. Therefore, from 1 and 2 the property has been verified. It is telling us to verify the property. So yes, we have done that. So I will say from 1 and 2 AB transpose is exactly equal to B transpose into A transpose. I want everybody to try to solve the second part on your own right now. Quickly, I'll give you 5 minutes. Start everybody. So all of you, please give the heading. Inverse of a matrix. Now what is the meaning of inverse of a matrix? Before actually going for finding the inverse of a particular matrix, let us first of all see and try to understand what is inverse of any basic number. Suppose if I have a single number 11, or let us say 7, I can say that the inverse of 7 is just going to be equal to 1 upon 7. If I have a number 27 or 25, its inverse is going to be equal to 1 upon 27. But I have a simple idea of writing it like this. I can write 7 to the power minus 1, or else I can write this as equal to 27 to the power minus 1. So guys, remember one thing, the power negative 1 that I have written over here is a representative of inverse of a number, or basically inverse of any particular quantity. Okay, so when I want to find out the inverse of a matrix, it's very easy to identify over here that if A is any matrix which is given to us, its inverse will be represented by A to the power negative 1. But it's very easy. Now the question is, how should I get the inverse is a main question. If you observe something very carefully, guys, see here, don't write, just understand this. It's very interesting and important for us to apply when we are solving our examples. Suppose if I multiply 7 into 1 upon 7, what is the answer that I get? I will get the answer as 1. Now can I say that this 1 upon 7 is nothing but 7 into 7 inverse? Still it's going to give me 1 only, because 7 inverse is nothing but 1 upon 7, which is the inverse of this particular number. So remember this connectivity, guys. The same logic has to be applied in case of the matrices also. This is what I am trying to give you, a connectivity between the basic or the normal numbers and trying to connect it with the matrix that I'll be showing it to you right now, just in few minutes. But before that, is this part clear to all of you guys? Yes or no? Okay. Okay, cool. So now let's try to understand what is the inverse of this matrix. Come on. Okay, so now let's understand what's the inverse. Let me write down the definition for this. If you have, if A and B are two matrices such that A into B is equal to I, where I is actually the identity matrix or the unit matrix. I am sure you know that. I is the identity matrix or the unit matrix, and if the matrices multiply and give the answer as I, then in such a case I will say that then in such a case B is called inverse of matrix A, and it is denoted as A to the power minus 1. So if inverse is denoted as A to the power minus 1, I can say that the matrix B will be exactly equal to A inverse. So this particular definition that I have, A into B is equal to I, can now be changed like this. A into A inverse is going to be equal to the identity matrix. And in order to find out the inverse of any particular matrix, there are two methods, guys, which are available to you for finding out the inverse of a matrix. So we'll first of all write down the name of the methods, and then I'll explain you in detail the two different methods that you have. Okay, write down. Methods to find out the inverse. Method number 1. Is the adjoint method, and the method number 2 that you have is the elementary transformation method. So we'll detail these methods one by one. We'll discuss this method one by one in detail so that you understand them very clearly. Okay. So there is a small condition, guys, that we need to know for the inverse of a matrix. Condition is that the matrix must be a non-singular matrix. Now, what is a non-singular matrix? The determinant of the matrix. If I consider that A is any matrix in general, then the determinant of this matrix should be a non-zero number. Only in that case I can say that the inverse exists, otherwise the inverse does not exist. So write down that also. If determinant of A is not equal to 0, A inverse exists. If determinant of A is equal to 0, A inverse A inverse does not exist. This is the very first point that we have to do whenever we are trying to calculate the inverse of any given matrix in general. Now we'll start with the first type, which is the adjoint method. I'll try to give you all the steps that we have to apply for the matrix, and then we'll decide whether we are having sufficient time to solve the questions or not. Let us start with the method steps. Give the first heading, all of you. Adjoint method and the steps for that. Step number 1 says check if inverse exists or not. How do we check if the inverse exists or not? From here. If the determinant is not equal to 0, A inverse will exist. If the determinant is equal to 0, A inverse will not exist, and you can just end your sum right there. But such a sum will not come where A inverse does not exist. So it's okay. We just have to check the condition and try to get the value of determinant of A. After that, step number 2, calculate cofactor for each element. The cofactor is denoted as capital Aij. Don't worry guys, I'll explain you this with the help of an example as how we have to calculate the cofactor. So there is a formula that you need to know. The formula for cofactors, that is the formula for Aij, is given by -1 to the power I plus j multiplied by Mij. Now you will think Aij का पता नहीं चला, Mij बीच में नया क्या आ गया. So don't worry, I'll explain you that also. What is Aij, what is Mij, we will do that in detail, no issues. This is your step number 2. In the same step, I will be doing or explaining you what is at Mij over here. So please continue with your step number 2 right over there, where Mij is called as the minor of an element. Mij is called as the minor of an element. Now the question is, what is a minor? How do we find out a minor of an element? So there are two cases in order to find the value of a minor of an element, guys, depending on the type of the matrix, or I should say depending on the order of the matrix. If the order of the matrix is of 2 by 2, there is a different way, there is a simple way to calculate the minor. If it is of order 3 by 3, there is a different way to calculate the value of the minor of that matrix. So I'll give you in writing what you have to do. Write it down, no issues whether you follow it or not. When we do the example, I am assuring you that you will be following it. So first of all, just write down the steps. Okay, I'm giving you the steps. I'm not doing the example right now. See, the steps are point number A, for a 2 by 2 matrix. What you have to do is Mij is element obtained by covering ith row and the jth column, whereas for a 3 by 3 matrix, what I have to do over here is that Mij is determinant of elements obtained after covering ith row and the jth column. That is your step number 2. Then step number 3, make a cofactor matrix. Now what's a cofactor matrix? So there are two things that you need to write over here for a 2 by 2 case as well as for a 3 by 3 case. So if I have a question of 2 by 2, then the cofactors will be A11, A12, A21 and A22. Then it is A11 over here, A12, A13 I should say over here. Don't worry guys, just copy it down. I'll explain you and you yourself will be very comfortable just after solving one sum because it is the easiest method. Number 4. Adjoint of a matrix is given by transpose of the cofactor matrix. And it is generally denoted by ADJ of A, where A is a general matrix which is known to us. Finally, the last point for which we are doing all these things, the A inverse, which is 1 upon determinant A multiplied by the adjoint of the matrix A. Let's take a small example for this. Example for adjoint method. Okay. Let me consider a matrix A which has values 1, 2, 5 and 9. First of all, I am explaining you a question which is based on a 2 by 2 matrix. Then if the time permits, we'll do a question of 3 by 3 today. Else we'll do it in the next lecture. Okay. So we'll go very slowly, no worries. I am given a matrix A something like that. I want all of you to just keep your steps open in front of you. Don't copy it right now. I'll give you sufficient time to copy down later on. First of all, understand this. The step number 1 says check if the matrix has an inverse or not. So for that, I have to find out the determinant of this matrix. So I will get determinant of A is equal to 1, 2, 5 and 9. And if you solve it, you will get 9 into 1, 9 minus 5 into 2, 10, which is a symbol minus 1. Though it is negative number, it is still not equal to 0. And because it is not equal to 0, I can say that A inverse exists. This is the condition to show that inverse of the matrix is existing. Now after that, I will go to step number 2, which says that I have to find out the cofactors. Now first of all, if I have to find out the cofactors, I will always write the cofactor formula Aij, which is equal to minus 1 to the power I plus j multiplied by Mij. Now guys, please be careful, don't write. I'll give you time to copy down. सुन लो पहले. Because it is a 2 by 2 matrix, I have to find out 4 values of cofactors A11, A12, A21 and A22. So these are the 4 values that I will be trying to calculate over here. One by one I will start. For A11, I is 1 and j is also 1. So what do I have to do? It is A11 is equal to minus 1 to the power 1 plus 1, which I can write directly as 2, multiplied by M11. Continue guys. Below if you observe, you have written for a 2 by 2 matrix, M11 is the element or the number obtained by covering the ith row and jth column. What is I and j over here? I and j is 1 and 1. So I have to cover the first row and the first column. So what is the number which is left? It is 9. So I will just write over here 1 into 9 and that is going to be equal to 9. Don't worry, एक और element बताता हूँ मैं आपको. Suppose if I want to find out A12. Now what is it for A12? I is still 1 but j this time is equal to 2. So when I want to find A12, I will get minus 1 to the power 1 plus 2, that's 3, multiplied by M12. Now negative 1 to the power odd number is a negative number. So I will get negative 1 over here. I want to find out M12. To get the value of M12, I have to this time cover the first row and the second column. So now guys, if you go and cover the second column, what number is left? It is 5. So you will get the value as minus 1 into 5, giving you negative 5. A22, so in fact A21 first. I is 2 and j is 1 over here. So I will get A21 as minus 1 to the power 1 plus 2, that is 3, multiplied by M21. Now minus 1 to the power 3 is going to be negative 1. Now let's go up once again, and when I want to find out the value of M21, I have to cover the second row, and the first column. What is left? The value is 2. So guys, I get the value as 2 in place of M21. So ultimately A21 comes out to be negative 2. Let's do the last value. A22. What is it? I is 2, j is also 2. So it means that minus 1 to the power 2 plus 2 giving me 4 multiplied by M22. What is this? Minus 1 multiplied by. Let's try to calculate the value of M22. This time I have to cover the second row and the second column. The number which is left is 1. So I will write over here 1. So you will get 1 into 1 as the final value, which is going to be equal to 1. So guys, that's the value of A22. That completes your step number 2. Step number 3 says write the cofactor matrix. Now it's very easy. Within 2 minutes you can now complete the sum. This was the most important and the time consuming part of the sum. So now cofactor matrix. Write down the values in their respective positions. It is 9, -5, -2 and 1. Now the transpose, which is your adjoint of the matrix A, 9 and -5 will come vertically, -2 and 1 will again come over here vertically. Finally, the inverse. What was the inverse of this? Sorry, what was the determinant of this? It was -1 over here. So we have calculated this. 1 upon -1 multiplied by, so basically it is just -1 itself. So I get -2, 2, 5 and -1 as our required value for A inverse. That gives me 3 marks.